All right, good morning. It is Thursday, and you are here with Delenn Russell. I'm back in Minecraft today, and we will be doing just some generic build and chill sort of stuff. The intent today is to work on the church, so we'll just have to see how that goes, but that's the plan at the moment. I have absolutely zero idea if things are... Ooh, sorry. I have absolutely zero idea if things are where I want them to be, but that's okay. Where is this? Interesting. So, last couple of days... Odd. Last couple of days we, were playing alternate... I shouldn't say alternate games, but Tuesday was a lot of recovery from last week's mistake. Wednesday was a more how do I put it? Eerie game in the start of the day, and then in the afternoon evening, sorry, let me correct that. We played our Planet Zoo and started the career path all over again. So just something a little bit different. But today we're back in our staple home of Minecraft, and we'll just get right to it. So, you guys have probably already noticed I have a cat. I've got some of the work done on... Oops, sorry, wrong one. On the... There we go, finally. Daytime. So I've got some of the work done on the farm. It still needs to go quite a ways. But I discovered that just simply glassing off the top of the farm did not actually get the fish to stay out of the area, and so we've got oops, cancel, I can't even click today. So we've got a lot of fish that tend to spawn to the east and to the west, but that's okay. So what I did was that portion you see there is fully glassed in from top right down to the floor. That's why it's a weird color. If you were to go there, it actually looks like I drained the place. That's probably the best. And blah, 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 if I could talk straight. So it's actually producing a few fish. I'm just going to take a quick run out there while I gather my thoughts. Good morning, Benson.
Hello.
Our streamer bot's a little pokey. I'm not quite sure why it has become pokey. Good morning, Max Money. Wow. Welcome in, ladies. Welcome. So, for those of you who may not be familiar with me, because I don't know if Max has raided before, let's see if I can just hit quick T and get one of these. Oh, nope, I can't spell. There we go. I should have a button for that, but I don't. In any case,
oh, hello there!
So I'm Delenn, and we are just back in Minecraft today, chilling a little bit, doing a bit of interior build for the church I've been working on, and letting you guys see that I finally got somewhere on the fish farm. So yeah, we'll have to see how well it works. Hello and welcome on in. Welcome to all of the raiders. And Benson was very... Whoa, cat, do not...
And there was much rejoicing.
So, Benson was very smart to grab the Benson was here first element, just so that everybody is well aware. Interesting. So I appreciate the sound. Thank you very much for playing that sound. Yellow, it's always makes me smile. You're from Otterbox.
Hello there.
I keep thinking I should change that guy's name, but I think I like it where it is, so I'm going to leave it. Some days people call it Oswald, some people call it Otterbox. Yeah. So I'm just going to take a quick run. Okay, you stay. And just see if there's any fish in here this quickly. I doubt it. Oh, not bad. So that'll do for what I needed to do, which means I'm not going to worry too much about it. Now, I'm hearing double sounds on my end, so I just need to quickly set this to anything that I'm not listening to currently. There we go. Now I'm only getting singles. Bit more muffled, but that's perfectly fine. Where are we here? Cat, you can come with if you wish. But at least it seems that having basically a little bit more than a chunk worth on both sides seems to be making enough fish show up inside the system that I'm not too bothered by completing it from here on in. That was a lot of glass. And I realized after I had taken everybody to the desert that I really didn't need to go to the desert. I have enough librarians I could just trade, so we have things we could do. Yes, I probably could have flown, but I want to make sure the first cat comes with me. So this cat has been tamed, just not named. Hey, you, sit down. Last night I realized for some reason I had a mystery cat that appeared to be up inside the roof somewhere, but they were showing as being quite literally like here and then straight up. But I could not for the life of me find them, so I just figured, okay, fine, I'll let that particular one despawn. And we have a couple of friends online today, so that's totally cool. I'm always glad to have them. Now, Max, since I've got my head screwed on a bit better, yes, this is, as you would say, my coffee base. But I'm curious to know what you have been working on. Optimus is a good bot. We're getting sillier and sillier. I love it. So, Max, what was it you were up to this morning? Oops, I want to drop off the extra fish and stuff. Need all the spots I can get. Don't need the dirt. That's my own stuff. Good, we're good. This weekend, the coffee server, as Max so correctly puts it, Java Minecraft, you know, but I'm tis. This weekend, the coffee server is throwing together a bit of a stream weekend. I was disorganized this morning and didn't put up the poster, partly because I got distracted and I meant to re-edit the poster and just didn't take the time to do so by the time I saw it. It is, got me being a blonde, so I'll just have that up later. But yeah, I'm not a blonde anymore. That's okay. That's cool. In any case, yeah, this is the big church that I keep talking about. So I have free cam. I keep forgetting to use it because it's kind of cheaty, so I only really use it when I need to for builds. But yeah, so we'll just take a quick run around the outside of this one. This window may eventually get some stained glass. We'll see how organized I am. I don't mean today. I mean as in if I bother. It's inside. It's just going to be a storage building. It's going to be my main storage building. I'm actually going to tear down the other one. Not that I have another use for the space at the moment, but yeah. So this is the major building here. This one is, I know there's a lot of scaffolding and stuff on the outside. I think I could take some of that down, but this building is loosely based off of a church building in a place called Blockley in England, which was actually used as the set piece for a televised version of the G.K. Chesterton stories of Father Brown. And so the base theme this season of the things that don't look like, you know, your average build. I mean, you got your usual sheep farm and melons and all that kind of jazz. The block was supposed to be, it looks like, yeah, I've actually, this one, oops, wrong hand. If I take that off, I'll just really quickly show you a little bit, very, very short. Which reference is it? Bridge Pictures? I think that's the one. Let's hope that's the one I'm looking for. It'd help if I turn that on. Nope, I don't even have it open. Okay, well, that wouldn't help anybody. Church Pictures. Oh, whoops, wrong screen. I'm not sure what you're seeing. Give me a quick split second to grab that one. Anyways, close that up. Church side there, that one might do. So I'll give you an example. See, this is the sort of picture. It's chopped a little bit weirdly at the moment, but that's the kind of picture that I was using for references. So in Blockley, England, this is the one they used as the set. So the theme of the base this season, first time I actually really had a theme. No problem at all, Zip. You guys can keep on chatting. This is a server for everybody. I'm totally okay with that. Just go right on in. You know, welcome to both of you, by the way. Or should I say, sorry for being late to both of you. Ooh, cat. Come here. I need a cat. I need to get a cat. I need... Whoa! Don't... kitty! Please. Don't go. Thank you. But... Oh no. Whoops. That would explain a lot.
Hello.
Come on, kitty. I need to give you fish. Can't I fish you, please? I'm taking the derailment time to chase the cat on purpose. And that actually might have been the one that was up in the ceiling last night. Very similar to it. Come on, kitty. The reason I want the cat is I actually want 29 of them. Yeah. So getting back to the theme of the base, and that's not derailing from chasing the cat. It actually explains the cat. Hello, do you not... Where'd you go? Do you want fish? The base's theme this season... Do you eat fish, kitty? This one does not want to be caught, does it? Ow! Oh well. Okay, well I guess it's the end of that cat. Where'd you go? Base's theme this season is all about mystery books and mystery book characters. So... I'll lose the cat, whatever. So the honey block and the magnifying glass so far are the only two items that reference Sherlock Holmes. One of my top 4 favorite characters, I think. Father Brown is in there somewhere. I'm not really sure. Like he's 5th, or he's in the pile, but I don't know if he's where he fits in that pile because it's sort of they all shuffle. So we have the train. It's kind of hard to see that the train, but it's a train. And it's the train representing the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot novel of Murder on the Orient Express. I don't know why I'm getting so tongue-tied. And then way over yonder, we can fly over actually if it's probably easier. So that was the train. It's a good large train, as you can see. Then over here, let's see if we can land on a tree. Apparently not. Okay. Trees should be easy to land on, but they're not my forte. So we have a riverboat, the Karnak. And in behind, I've built 2 statues by a gentleman by the name of Tridar. Let's see, can I get up here? Let's land on the boat that's not in the chimney. Okay. So I've built these 2 statues by Tridar to go with the boat, and that's for Death on the Nile. Once again, another Hercule Poirot novel from Agatha Christie. There usually is something else in that pillowcase. Then, let's see, let's hit up the book next. The book was the first thing I built, and I was going to put writing on it, but I couldn't really decide what to put in such small pages. That's a book. And its inside is actually my trading hall. So all the right-hand side is librarians, and all the left-hand side is like just about everybody else you need. And then the last one, I'm going to actually show you the scale of it, but then I'll use Journey Map to actually show you how big this thing is, because I spent forever and a day. There we go. Let's go way up. How high can I get before I crash? Contrary to popular belief, there it is. Then let's not die on the way down. Oh, and I missed. Oh well. But you can see this piece is 150 by 150. Now it's not meant to be map art. I didn't chunk align it. I just picked a great big spot and mined it down. So that's what I was doing for weeks on end. Was just mining and mining and mining. So the picture for, and I turned on 2 things. Okay, well let's take off the church side. Pictures, book cover. Okay. So, I want to just go over here, find me, get Journey Map, come on over here. So 150 turns out this way. And you can see that I'm trying to do a book cover from Brother Cadfael, a rare Benedictine monk, basically, who started out as a crusader, and then he joined the monastery, and he was in charge of the herbal garden, so he was kind of the doctor, I guess, sort of. But he kept getting himself in all kinds of scrapes for being interested in helping people and figuring out why things happen. So, he actually got sent on a lot of trips and stuff. Yep, another PBS mystery show. Yes, however, I will point out, Max, that I love PBS, except, here's the except part. Their Masterpiece Mystery Theater stuff was fantastic, particularly when hosted by Diana Rigg. However, I discovered years later, they even did it in the early days, but I didn't know about it. I discovered years and years later when they were airing the BBC Sherlock series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, that the public broadcasting system, because of all the blah 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 they put on in between, and it's in lieu of commercials, so that's how they fit North American programs on there. When they're airing British ones, which don't have the same rules for commercials, then the American ones are about 8 minutes shorter. And as a real fan, those 8 minutes make a huge difference. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, try and see the UK versions of the Sherlock series rather than the North American ones. But so that's the other piece. You'll see there's a crease on the left-hand side, a little vertical line there. That's related to the second run of doing it. So the first run had the tunic being a teal color, or like the cyan color, and then we ended up with lime. You can see a little bit in the top there. We ended up with lime in the snow, and that's not acceptable. So I also realized the whole thing had been skewed by 1 degree, and that really bugged me because the vertical lines were not vertical. So once I figured that out, I managed to get it straightened, reran the pattern I'm using a site called Stitch Fiddle. You could make like cross-stitch patterns and stuff on. And so when I reran the pattern after it'd been straightened, it was cockeyed to what was already on the ground. So I'd gotten almost, probably about halfway between, maybe where I'm standing, more or less. It's a little icon in the middle there. I gotten about that far before I started to fix things, and it really bugged me. So I finished off up to the line. Then I went back to the seam that had been where my little blue pointer's standing, and redoing out to the left before I pick up on the third section of the poster. So now there's a lot. Yeah, well, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, the vast majority of the time, I think you and I saw them streamed online, not necessarily legally, but we did get those extra minutes in there. So, yeah, that's the big thing. I do have a bust build coming for the weekend. It's going to be pretty serious sized. I haven't actually found the space I want to put it yet. Probably out behind the train, because you definitely will see it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about seeing it. It's going to be a bust. I'm just going to verbally say it rather than show you guys the schematic. But it's going to be a bust as tall as the statues that you saw. As tall as the Egyptian statues, which makes it actually, I measured it, it makes it actually a good bit taller than the church. It's part of why it's going to be out there rather than, or maybe off to the side on this direction, but rather than actually at the base, because it'll dwarf the church. It's going to be about, what did I say, 63 blocks high, I think, 63, 64. And it's just a big stone bust of Sherlock Holmes, Deerstalker, and Calabash Pipe included. Which, it's only... I'm not a fan of using those two elements, the pipe and the Deerstalker, but unfortunately that's some of the most recognizable elements of the character. So I guess I'm kind of stuck with it. Yeah, so that's the basic tour of the base. The bust this weekend, I am really bad at, as you can see here, I'm really bad at texturing walls, and that's not meant to be textured, but I'm just bad at it. So cat. So the bust itself will be done monotone in stone, and then I'll debate whether I'm going to bother coming back to texture it. But it was just easier because texturing pre-designed just doesn't work for me. Yeah, well, that's it. Technically, the one that I'm technically the bust that I'll be doing has the face supposedly modeled after Jeremy Brett, who happens to be my favorite Sherlock Holmes character, or Sherlock Holmes actor. The however on that, do I have any? Not very much, but whatever. Jeremy Brett happens to be my favorite Sherlock Holmes actor. However, if you don't do the Deerstalker and cape, nobody recognizes them. You know, so can't win, I guess. Just gonna get rid of what I've got here in more quartz because gonna need it all. Alright. Throw those in and then we'll get back to the building. So what I'm aiming for with the cats, because people have been asking me, why the fish farm, why the cats? I quite like a series by Lillian Jackson Braun, and it's a series called The Cat Who. Hello. And the Cat Who series has 29 books in it. The main character is a newspaperman who has 2 Siamese cats. I think it's like Coco and something else. I can't recall at the moment. But in any case, those are the nicknames. I mean, they have longer names. So actually, I guess in that case, I'll want 31 cats. And yeah, you can wander around. But what I've decided I want to do with that is rather than build a reference to them, exactly, 29 books, exactly. So for example, I haven't actually given this guy a name yet, but for example, this one, so you could look at him and you wouldn't say the Cat Who, his name would be like Saw Red or something like that. So you could just add the phrase the Cat Who on top of every cat's name. The exception will be, of course, the 2 cats in the book will actually have their names. But what I'm gonna do with this is just seal off and then do the inside all in smooth. So when I was looking at the inside references for the real building, technically right up to the ceiling on both sides is actually all whitewashed, but of course Minecraft being Minecraft, you can't do that. Doesn't work. As you can see, here's my solution. So the real wall is the sandstone, and then there's the where I could, there's the white smooth. Interesting, I made a mistake there. That's okay. Nope. The smooth white of the what did I think about? Yeah, smooth quartz. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, interesting. The distraction is that I had forgotten to pick up more of the scaffolding, so I'm going to need that. Yeah, so with the Cat Who series then, that's why I wanted quite so many cats, which of course are going to need a lot of fish, as we can see from the one that I was chasing around and could not seem to nail down. Okay, corner fixed. Now this one is actually just sealed in. If I take a look at the church, truthfully, on this side there's some sort of like little alcove thing. I don't really know what it was for. And then on this side was like a pipe organ. I don't find either of those remotely useful to my purposes. I like the interior, just the whitewash style. And then we're going to do the floor all as stone intentionally, and then I'm going to move in, because as I said, this is going to be my new storage main building base thing. So this section here, it's either this section or the interior of the tower. I'm not sure which. One of them will be sort of the bed zone, and then the other one will be, I wouldn't exactly call it a super smelter, but it'll be where I'm going to stack a bunch of furnaces on one side, and then the other side will probably have like some blast furnaces and smelters and that sort of jazz. Not smelters, sorry, on blast furnaces, blah blah. And what's the word? Smokers. There, that's the word I'm looking for. But this one's definitely poorly lit. Now you can see where I'd had a hole up to the roof. I think up top I've got like brown wood buttons, and that's not what I wanted. I think I might want gray ones, like actual buttons, but it's not a big deal. And then I've got to figure out how to deal with this seam, because it's actually supposed to be up here a doorway. Like an actual door to get into the bell tower, which I have not actually bothered designing or hanging a bell, although I probably should at some point. That'll probably be another project. But I was actually just looking forward to moving in and then finishing off lots of it, but there's pieces that I need to have done first. I mean, flooring, right? If I'm going to be doing a lot of the flooring, then I want to have the wall finished. And I can't seem to figure out whether I want to square off. part of where I'm going with the design idea on the interior of that wall is on this one, I've actually just done all the wall in the cut sandstone so that the arch stood out a bit more. But on that side, it really doesn't matter. So I'm really not sure what I want to do with that. A little bit off to be sure. But as you can see, because of the way that Minecraft works, I wasn't able to get the white quartz to go all the way up the walls. Putting another layer on the inside just looked weird. And when I looked on the outside, moving the upside or the top section of the windows out was weirder still. But I'm going to need to move the beacon when I start doing the Holmes bust on the weekend because it's just big. Okay, maybe I'll just double up the wall. I don't know what I want to do. Let's just go with it. So this section was actually a very large wall at one point, and I don't mean my design of it. Oops, I can shut off that one. Let's just shut the references down. There we go. Come on, show me what I'm looking for. Games. Minecraft. Ideas? Church, there we go. Do I have the wall? I'm just looking to see if I can show you guys what the wall looks like. Following the leader, the leader, the leader, the leader. Well, thank you very, very much for that follow. I really do appreciate it. So, glad to have you aboard the Perfect Shot. Pleased to see that I'm doing something you enjoy. Alright, so I'm just grabbing the interior wall.
Hello.
Where's the side of that? Hello. Alright, I need some more hellos and stuff as well. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys see what I'm seeing. Which one is this? Church pictures? Properties? There we go. Okay. References. Pictures. So, under the hype sticker, you'll see that I've actually kind of chopped on a bit of a website where I managed to find a lot of pictures of what the church actually, like the real one, has for sites. Now, I'm not going to be able to do some of the stuff on the ceiling. Like you'll be able to see, we've got a lovely deco. I'm not going to bother going that far. The roof that we've done here is only 2 layers thick. So I tested out some of the glazed terracotta patterns just to see what their base unit would look like in the roof, and it did not work for me. So I think I'm just going to skip that and do chains with hanging lights. Okay. So this is the wall I'm looking for. It's with this one. Load, please. Maybe. There we go. All right. So as you can see from that one, we've got the wall used to have at the top a very, very large opening, right? They used to have an arch that matched. I don't know if it's matched on the right or if it's the opposite end, but it definitely does not do that anymore. And you can see the pipework in there. And that's the section we're working on and trying to close in. So, just going to see if there's a quicker or closer shot. Oh, let's see. Nope, that's not it. So you can just see a little bit of, there we go. So this is how part of it all got closed in. And there's actually a door back there. So at the bottom, you can see we've got a pipe organ and stuff that's in there. And it's okay, but it's kind of in the way. So yeah, suffice to say that I'm just going to be closing that in. Somewhat like the picture. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it'll do the trick. Let's see, one more shot of this. Okay, that. There we go. All right. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, part of how this building has come together thus far is related to looking at tons and tons of these pictures. It's actually a British historical building, like as in it has historical ratings. Sure, cat. Be on the roof. That's fine. Yeah, Yeah, so it actually has historical rating, which means, of course, it's, I think, the grade 2 listed UK building, which pretty much just determines what they have to do for maintenance and what they can and can't do for renovations and so forth. And there are elements I've tried to incorporate in the build, referencing stuff from the old design. Oops, got myself trapped in a corner here. Fine. Let's go back the other way. So one of the elements I've tried to incorporate with things like, as we see, the arches are closed up, but there's still visible scars on the wall. So where I can, I've tried to include those visible scars. Now this one is a bit of a challenge because this is actually, I don't even know how they get up to the top. I'm assuming there's a staircase somewhere, but from the external, you can actually see that on this end, for some unknown reason, is where the door is. So they actually go upstairs. This wall or roof is not actually flat, but in Minecraft, if you try to make it anything remotely arched to get it to have the right look, it just really showed way too much from the outside. So yeah, details that I think I'll probably skip. Like, I'm not even going to bother putting a door there now that I've seen it. Actually, how big is this? 1.5? Yeah, because of the half and everything. It's not worth that kind of hassle. All right. So I'm just going to close this off, I think. That's probably the easiest thing for me to do. Oops. Hello, cat. If I can actually get a second cat, then I can start working on the 29 by just crossbreeding them. But ideally, in a magic world, I would actually be able to find a pair of Siamese cats. Oops, too high. What did I do with the hole in the wall? There it is. I'd actually go with this pair of Siamese cats. I just named them all that because of the other characters being Siamese cats. But, you know, it's not happening. Okay, so how high do I want to go? Well, that's a good answer. And how far? I sometimes crouch on these things. I sometimes fall on these things. Comes up. So, ooh, is it actually going to work today? Yes, good. So you can have them stacked this way, I think. Yep, there we go. But unfortunately, this is another one of those parody items that Bedrock has that I kind of wish Java had. It's just the ability to stick like I can't even click on the wall. So in Bedrock, if you get stuck on a ledge, right, and let's say you had no scaffolding up, you can just like click on the wall with a piece of scaffolding and they would slide down like that last pile did and just start piling up. But that's not the case on Java. So that's part of what got me to finally decide that I was going to fly. Now I get razzed by Dadcraft quite a bit. The Book of Librarians. I get razzed by Dadcraft quite a bit for the fact that I fly fairly well, according to him, even though I had never actually learned to elytra fly till this season. And it was actually, for me, it was an event. I guess it might not have been for everybody else, but for me, it was quite an event. And part of the reason it was new to me was, and I'd been playing this game since, what was it, 1.11, I think? Possibly earlier? I remember somebody being all excited about the release of 1.9. But in any case, the reason I'd never flown is in creative, I just used creative flight. Like, there was no point in using elytra flight in creative. So I just never bothered because I had other things to do. And then I had done gliders. Sorry, cat, you're in the way. Had done gliders and bouncy boots in modded, so that was all well and good. But I had never actually done elytra with rockets, so that was something new to me. I'm still doing a lot of crashing because I'm not used to. Sometimes when I land, my brain goes, "Oh, yeah, you've got the bouncy boots." No bouncy boots here. That's something, another one of those, you know, things in modded that people wish were in regular vanilla. Cat! Okay, I'm gonna have to put the cat on the floor next time I get down there. Because it's not helping. You're not helping, you're not helping. Get down. The other reason I waited is because I've seen a lot of people do some pretty awesome spins as they get down to the bottom in their game. And there is a significant chance that that I would get motion sick. I do tend to get motion sick in the game. So that's one of the reasons why I have not done marathon Minecraft streams specifically, is that they tend to make me kind of nauseous. It's not just all this back and forth business. When people are mining sand or gravel or whatever else they need. Why am I just being dumb? Let's see. 1, 2, there we go. It's not just that, it's like just simply the moving around the POV. I've tried playing with the point of view several times, and I just can't seem to get it quite right for me not to get sick. I mean, a lot of it has to do with, you know, the positioning of the doors and the positioning of the doors, sorry. The positioning of the monitor and distance from it, and, you know, how clean are my glasses and other stupid factors, so that it just wasn't worth me fussing about. Okay. The door is going to be roughly there, I think. Yeah. And then all in here. So on this side, oops, come on, block. On this side down here, I'm in the main, or in the real pictures, they have the, do I have chests? I don't think I have chests handy. Okay. Well, in the real picture, they have everything going sideways. So as in, this would be the back wall for them, and the church had pews going this direction, which I think would actually work really well for probably a back row, maybe for my stone collection. What's left of it after the bust, that is. And then things like, I thought about making this entire hall good for wool, but maybe it might even only need it for the white wool. Like, it's just kind of crazy. We'll just have to see. So those chairs will go that way. And then the main section towards that window is sort of the front of the building. But I'm thinking of doing sort of pew styles where, let's do, yeah, do I have any trapdoors handy? 1, 2, I got some. I can show the purpose, or the basic part of it. Yeah. Let's see. 6, I should be able to get 2 out of that. Chests. There we go. Okay, great. So the idea was over here, the pews were going that way, in pairs, as long as necessary. And then in the main section, they'll be going the other direction, but starting from the sides. Mostly. I mean, I won't be using trapdoors and everything. And then I'm going to start out with a ground floor version. Now, the issue with doing trapdoors with these ones, as you can see, is that... Oops, that's down. That's not the ones I want. Oh, cat. Go away. Oh my god. No. No more. Oh, wool will work. Let's go with brown. Oh, gray. Okay. Move it, cat. Fine. I'll show you in the back corner. So if I put a trapdoor on the top to close it down, and cat, go away. I can't put one there because he's sitting in the way. But the point with this is that you can see there's a gap, so that doesn't make for a very good bench look. But what I think I'm going to do is choose what color I want. Oops. Okay, there we go. Just this way. Sure. Why not? And then I can just put carpets on top, which sort of covers off the gap. And then by the time that I get everything done, it'll be okay. So it's more or less floating seating, and then there'll be signage on it on the side of the floating bit, probably, as explaining what it's all for. So So as in, like, this one might be red wool, and the next one might be trapdoors, the next one might be, like, my fish box or something like that. So that's sort of the ballpark idea that I'm working with. And then I'm going to move in as much as I can. That's part of why the space being big works well. And if I need to stack things, I can start to stack things. It's not a huge deal, but I figure that I've got enough. I'm not a huge hoarder. I mean, that little building you saw... Oops, come on. This way? That's it. Like, that's all I've got is the orange roof there. That's my storage. So that's stacked like 2 or 3 rows high, sometimes 4. But putting it in the church, I don't think I'll have too much issue with finding space. Right, just got to move. I have a Cheaty app, which I recommend to any streamer, but it's just a little one called Twitch Chat Overlay. What it actually does is it floats your chat on your, like, as a see-through window that you can put on top of your game, and you can click through it, which is handy because I don't always see what's going on the main screen. So I do apologize to not saying hello properly to the perfect shot. I do really appreciate that you chose to follow, so hopefully this will be somewhat palatable. But yeah, so that's the thing. I like doing builds. I like doing fairly large builds, but I don't always have the creative... Okay, cat, come here. I'm tired of you. Come here. Come here, on the bed, or something, anywhere. Come on. You gonna stay down there? Fine, you can stay down there. Sit. Especially the trading hall. Okay. Well, then I'll just quickly finish filling in this wall, because that really won't take forever. And we'll go and see the interior of the trading hall. It has... Oh, what did I do there? Oops. It has a few more heads in it. So it's not exactly the nicest trading hall anymore. Come on, why can't I... There we go. But, I definitely will make a stop for the trading hall, for sure. Also, another quick note on the trading hall. You'll find when we're there that most of the zombies are not cured. Let me put it that way. I'll go the other way around. It's not actually zombies, but most of them are still the original pricing. And the reason... Oops, what did I do there? No idea. And the reason for that was because I felt that I needed to put in some sort of effort for the reward. Not that other players don't. I mean, they've definitely put in a lot of effort, but it just made my game more fun for me, I guess, if I actually had to put in some effort, which basically means though that half the time I just traded up for what I needed, and then I used like Iron Farm to get the trade that up for the emeralds and the XP and whatever. Okay, did I get it all closed in? Almost. If I missed that, I'm not sure, but almost. And this is not the easiest or most convenient way of getting up there, but it works. Ow. But you'll find that as a result of my late learning to fly, oh, and I guess I need those blocks. As a result of that, I often will walk somewhere and then not even realize I could have flown there, or jump off something and go kersplat, rather than actually have realized that I could have... Is that what I need? No, I need the tiles, this one. There we go. So I just... Sometimes I'll realize that I go splat rather than... What's the ceiling? Rather than actually gliding down, just because I purely forget that I can do it. So, yeah. There's still a lot of that sort of stuff going on. What is... Let's get the bone block down here. As I said earlier, I wasn't going to be back on the roof here, so I can fill this hole. At least this room looks normal. The other one, I don't mind leaving the hole in the next room, because I'm looking at probably doing a bell then. We'll see. Alright. Close enough. And yeah, there's a door, and I have a scar to put up top. just gonna see, what is it? How'd I do this one? Okay, smooth with all the crazy blocks. So smooth will probably work. And then I'll just put in the quartz on the other side. Okay, so let's take a pause. Just for a breather. Actually, no, yeah. Let's take a pause for a breather. This thing is a necessary eyesore, but we'll see if I'm going to move it. I don't know. One of the other thoughts I had is, once I realized it was easy to get glass, that I was going to consider just tearing it up and rebuilding it out of glass. Ow! Ooh.
Apparently not.
Yeah, not flying. So, from earlier, hence the stairs, this is the book. So we've got, as you can see, yeah, crash! Bit of a potato. Okay. So I attempted to make the roof look sort of curvy, like an open book. I actually originally liked the look of the bone blocks in the roof, but unfortunately, of course, they're not spawn-proof. Yeah, oof is a good one. I made a mistake one day, and I had, instead of using buttons, I had actually left the gate open, and I had a zombie in here, and it only grabbed a couple of the guys, so that I think this one and this one over here are cured, but the rest of them are not. So I mean, we've got the whole 9 yards, and then they're not all labeled either. The label for what I was looking for, what I wanted, but I didn't actually label them all. Now the ones that have trapdoors in front of them, but they're still a label, it's because they were not the cheapest asset. But I keep them around because sometimes I get, there'll be a guy that'll have been a really bad price for the books, but it'd be a good price for, convenience for bookshelves or glass or name tags or, those sorts of things. They just want in quantity in short order, and you don't really have time or to wait around while they respawn. So then I've got a bookshelf shop that I will show you guys as well, which is semi-relevant because of the stuff that was shown on Minecraft Live. But anyways, so here's the last row. These guys, I can't remember why I still have the fencing on top. This guy was once again, not the cheapest. And I've yet to label these ones. Then I've got a row full of farmers. This row, as you can see, has the shepherds and a couple of, I don't know, I keep forgetting, but whatever those guys are. And then we've got the cartographers. Yes. Need to think about that for a minute. Just a few toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, armorsmiths. We've got the masons, and that's where I've been getting the quartz from. Nobody really needs a Fletcher, but I figured I'd have one. Yes, this is a fisherman, purely so that he could take my string. That was really it. I needed emeralds quite badly, so I needed a guy to take string. So that's the inside. Oh, yes, and then focusing a little more. So we've had a few wandering traders, and rather than letting them despawn, because we're on a server, of course they'll stick around for like 40 minutes or something at one person's base. So we suggest people kill them if you don't need them. So I have just a few here, and then a couple more starting on this ceiling row down there. Most of, like, from here down to that guy were some of the accidents that were actually rather legit accidents in this place. Going through the whole process of breeding everybody and whatnot, you get golems spawning in here, and I didn't want the golems, so I would try and take out the golems. But every once in a while there'd be an accident where I, didn't want to get hit by the golems, so I stood back and used my bow, which unfortunately missed, and would peg a villager. So then we've got the husk and just a few of the... Those are all the llama heads I think I've got. And then on this side, there's a bit more critters. Oh, nope, not there. So you can see I've got a bit more space for heads and stuff. I mean, those are some of the squids. I used to put them all up there, but now that I've got the farm, I don't know if I'll be getting any more. We'll see. There's a couple more llamas. We had cats once upon a time. We had cats. And they didn't get names. I didn't think about needing them at one point. And so that was somewhat accidental. I actually had 8 or 9 of them, and then just different accidents happened and they died. One tried to teleport to me and fell in the lava in my lava farm. A couple of them got, actually most often they got squashed inside shulker boxes just because they wanted to be right in front of you, right where the box was open. And you can't do much about that. So when you close the box, they got trapped, and I tried to get the box out and just no good. We've got, that's one of the Ravager heads. The golems. That Enderman was actually from here, not from the Ender. And then that's a Piglin, I think. Could be a Hoglin. I can't remember at the moment. People who are more familiar with that know. I just went, oh, I killed it. I don't think I have one of those. Put it on the wall. Or I have room. Let's put it on the wall. So yeah, I was going to put up signs with little like dates of achievement for server streams, because that's a new thing. I've never done stream weekends before. I had never started streaming till the start of this year, so that was a pretty big thing. But I just never got around to it, and then I ended up using the wall for more of the villagers. So you can see we've got the various pillagers and stuff that drop heads, and some of those are from. Most of those actually are from my rather lackluster raid farm, but it does what I need. And then you can see I've had a few zombie guys drop their heads. So yeah, that's the interior of that one. Let's see. Do I have anything that needs dropping off? Okay, we are 5 minutes till the break, so I'm just going to go do a little bit more inside the church. The server resets itself right smack in the middle of my stream. Those in charge of the reboots have apologized and asked if I need it changed, and I said, no, that's fine. I totally don't mind, because if it didn't bother me, it would bother somebody else. So what I actually do is I have a little break at that point. In the meantime, what do I care about? I was going to do the arch. Let's just measure or count how high it is. Let's see, is that the middle-ish? Yeah, it'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, a little higher. 11. 11. Okay, so it's 11 blocks, then we hit the gap. Okay. And I've got an oopsie to fix over there. It bugs me, even though it's going to be hidden. It bugs me, so 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and then it's double high. Alright, what is on the other side of this door? Oops. Brainiac. That's a 1-layer wall, I think? Alright. So this is a mistake. Oop. Great. Let's get in the middle. When I want to squat through it, I can't. This is kind of annoying. Okay. Down. Fine. Do it again. Let's take the top one off. There we go, this one. Perfect. And where are these? Yeah, 2-block gap would work. So I've got to do 1, 2. And there we go. All right. Let's see. 2, 2. Okay. This is the confusing part. Just trying to get everything somewhat right. This one and that one. What did we do? 3, 5. Okay. One more. Ow. This part's always confusing. And trying to do it from the inside is definitely the wrong way to approach this. This one, that one, this one, and that one. That'll get it wider. This one and that one. So step, so it's double. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I go out here, 1, 2, 3, and where this is, it'll be 4. Okay, I can handle that. Makes no sense, but let's go with it. Okay, and this one is, I think that's 3 tall. The bottom is actually, in the original one, is stairs, but of course I'm not going to be using it as an actual door, or like an arch, so I'm not too bothered by the fact that it's like that. Okay, one more. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and the rest comes down. Perfect. So this one, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's right through here. Okay. So I can't fix that spot. That's fine. Let's go just get the stairs out of the wall. But after we do, where I was going with this was after we do a little break for 5 minutes when the server reboots, then we can take a quick run to the shopping district. Okay. And we're going to have a look at the shop. Okay, so just switch to quickly to be right back. That's interesting. Why am I not? This one? Okay. I don't know. Okay, well, it is what it is. Interact. Where are we at? What did I get? 60.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, let's present and go live. Alright, so what I usually do when we have a break in the server reboots itself is I do a Lego build. Good, and the camera cooperated. Finally. There we go. It's not perfect because after a long one on the weekend, I'm still taking time to get the other ones set up exactly the way I like. Let's move this just a smooch out of the way. More Lego, less me. Okay. Oops. Bit more. I usually work in the middle of this mat. There we go. Close enough. All right. So we're working on building the Hogwarts Magical Trunk by Harry Potter. And where I'm at is actually not there. It doesn't keep. Is it? Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm missing... Nope, I'm not missing anything. I did not put a piece on. There it is. In this corner. Alright. Okay, so I just usually have a 5-minute timer on that one, so if you guys need to stretch or go for a walk or whatever. I guess we're going to be, in this 5 minutes, we're going to be sorting a new bag. Excellent. And this will be the last bag of the box, I believe. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. There's 5 bags in this one. All right. Thank you, Lord Snow, for bringing in your party. I do appreciate it. Hopefully we're doing well. And if your furry friends need a stretch or a walk or you need a break, go for it. If you happen to be able to come back and tell us what you're up to, that would be very much appreciated. All right. So I'm just one of those people that does sort a lot of the pieces. And usually... Well, actually, you're not seeing much. Okay, give me a sec. This one. Close that. View mode. Let's take off the background. It's funny, I was just looking to get that background to work, and then it didn't want to, so I was going to go without it, but now it turns out I need to actually have it off anyways. So I do actually sort the pieces. You'll see a bunch of these sliding semi-off screen here. Whereas some people just sort them by color, I actually like to sort literally the pieces into the various piles. Some people call it knolling. I mean, it's just sorting. No fancy names there. The other thing is, I'm not sure if there's a difference between purely sorting versus like when some people will actually stack all the pieces together, then you'll get big long columns of it. I find that kind of corny, only because I sort of wonder, well, why bother? You're going to put them back together. Like you're going to take them out of those columns really quickly. But this is the bit of the build where we're going to be getting lots of color. So if 5 minutes ever turns out to be not long enough for your interest and you want to see where it goes after that, you're more than welcome to redeem channel points for an additional 5 minutes, should you so desire. The only days I don't offer that additional 5 minutes option, or anytime you want 5 minutes option, is if I'm doing something that is time sensitive, like playing Minecraft Bingo or something like that. Then I won't be offering it in the middle of Minecraft Bingo, just because that does not make any logical sense. Same with anything I actually have to actively interact with, such as maybe like let's see if I'm thinking of. But I do also do Harry Potter trivia cards from the World of Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit set, and so that's one that doesn't come up during Minecraft Bingo on Tuesday, just because I'm not going to stop what I'm up to answer a bingo card. Not a bingo card, sorry, a trivia card on screen. But other than that, though, should you guys want any of those little things, go for it. Hangman and, as you guys saw earlier, Hill Champion are always available because they're just a little bit of fun, and they're, on my part, non-interactive, unless I wish to join. So we are in... The self-running pieces can be incredibly welcome some days. It adds a little bit of spice to everything. This scene, as you can see, has no headcam. That at some point will change, but I just didn't get that organized today. I did use a face cam, on Friday when I did a long build. But the problem with it is I spend too much time looking down at the desk. So what I'm looking at doing is just getting another little mini tripod set up off to the side and using my phone cam, which would be down lower. And that's one of those ones where if you're looking at the desk anyways, what would have normally been an up-the-nose cam is still better than nothing, because it's not going to be as much up the nose. Okay. Now, technically my timer says we have sub 1 minute, so if those of you, as I said, need a drink or need to stretch, or I don't know if you can hit the washroom in sub 1 minute unless you're Bruno, but should that stretch or whatever be required, go for it. And actually, put it over here then. There we go. Alright. We'll just finish up these bits, and then we'll all be ready to go next time we actually have a build. What do I do with the other gun? I don't know. So this is the one, or this bag is probably going to be the one we're starting to put on a lot of the color that's on the outside of the trunk. Just before we go back to Minecraft, I'll grab the box and show you what the cover looks like, because the instruction booklet does not actually show you a cover, or not cover, like a finished version on it. The instruction booklet actually just has a letter, like you would have your Hogwarts acceptance letter, which, while that is interesting and creative, it doesn't work too well for me just to be able to show you the cover of the instructions for this sort of purpose. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I don't usually go long, but I mean, I need to clean space so I can actually get back to the desk, or to the keyboard. Alright, so as I said, the last piece was just, I was going to show you the picture. So this box, I don't know how well it's going to come across. And not very well. So I've got some lights on my... But you can sort of see that the box is all colored, and we've got a lot of those pieces starting to show up in this set of bags. Alright, so let's hit be right back, and then we'll head over to Minecraft again. So apparently, oops, I brought my keyboard. As promised, we're going. Apparently, I dropped the blocks. I don't know why, just the way I loaded in. But as promised, we're going to head over and take a look at the bookshop. So I'm just going to dump these pieces so that I can find them when I get back. Oh, I had a couple of more blocks. That's nice. I like that because I keep thinking I'm running out of this stuff. All right, and then we have moving the smooth quartz pieces out of the road because otherwise I won't find the sandstone. Extra doors, extra carpet. Oh, actually, that was from the other explanation. I'll put over here. I'm not going to need it later. This one and that one. Alright. Let's sleep it off before I... Oops. So it's almost time to go. And then we'll take a quick run down to spawn. And you guys can have a look at that. As far as I know, there's nothing that I would be spoilerific on, so we can head down there. And where are we? Okay. Nothing on me that I particularly care about. Or, well, nothing on me that I need to put away or anything like that. There we go. Game seems kind of quiet. Might help if I actually take you guys with me. So now we're in another this. This guy is a bit of a joke on purpose. For those of you that are familiar with Carnage Joe, she has a habit of accidentally offing her horses. It's not on purpose, never has been. But the actual famous person, Sammy Davis Jr., one of the songs he was kind of famous for having performed was a song called Mr. Bojangles, who actually really was a guy named Bojangles-ish, and he would tap dance for people. He didn't really end up in trouble and in jail like the song says, but yeah. So Sammy Davis Jr. got famous tap dancing and singing for that song. Or that wasn't famous, but one of the things that he did. And so my sort of homage to that was to name my horse Sammy Davis Jr. So as you can see, we've got quite an extensive rail network, which prior to flight, I made very, very good use of the rail network. Because I didn't even have a horse. That one has never been through a portal because I killed them. And you can see we've got a good train station, which is neat how the network works, because you can press any of these buttons and they will connect you to a path, and then hop over here, grab a cart, and like press a button and minecart pops up, you hop in and off you go. And it's really neat how that does. I've never looked underneath to see quite how the rail cart actually works underneath. Part of it is because sometimes I break redstone ends by accident, so I just don't really want to be messing with it. We can see there's Max, one of the pieces. So yeah. Where is... This place also acts as our museum. So at the moment it's a museum that involves Bat's buddy. I don't know, Batkrats has a little buddy who just lives over here who doesn't like me. Yeah, hush to you two. And then so we've got our stream box full of various items and so on. So that we made these pillars to be part of our museum. And then the original ones we actually, like over in the bottom, we actually had other colors those months, but before we started agreeing to put the colors into the posts, I'd forgotten what the other colors were for these ones. We used to change them back, so we'll fix that at some point maybe. But in any case, you can see we've done 8 stream weekends. We didn't do September. We just took time off. Everybody was really busy. But then they're going to be in higher spots in the pillars as we move up. All right. So let's run on through. Yeah, I didn't wear a gold hat. You can yell at me all you want, micro piggies. I'll admit, the doorbell caught me when I first heard it. Oh, I'm just take a quick check over here. Through the snow, it's probably my kind of luck. And do we have anything? I So Hobo Zim was here, and you are the most sus. Okay. Apparently I'm the most sus. I don't know. Maybe it's these two guys arguing. But yeah, it's the free chicken stand. So, that's new. Interesting. That's very different. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that actually showed up on the map? Bridge, workshop, lecture shop, rocket shop. Okay, we're good. Nothing too weird that I didn't know about. So I'm just taking the beeline shortcut route. To this thing. Yeah, so that's just my little cafe / library. I still need to finish. I've got 2 more books, one for here and one for that side. These written books were actually written by my kids, and I just typed them into Minecraft. So yeah, those 2. So if anybody ever needs some light, goofy reading written by a kid, come on in and have a look. These guys are just here just cause. That's what happened to a couple of the villager heads from the other display on the wall. But they don't actually really sell anything. So, yeah, it just looks like a cafe because it can. You know, reading cafes are all fun. So downstairs you'll find the Department of Mysteries and the restricted section. Really, what that boils down to is literally you just have an enchantment table zone that you can do whatever you want with. And then there is no back door, although I keep thinking I should put one in. But the downstairs used to confuse people. I didn't understand why that it would, so I ended up putting up a sign to explain how to get in, because apparently some people didn't understand, and that's fine. So if you do that, it triggers the redstone, and then we can get in the stairs. The redstone's actually all under this section over here. You can sort of peek through and see a little bit of it right in here. And that's not the redstone sort of bookshelf doors people are talking about now. They're all the rage, I guess. But yeah, so just a couple of enchanted sets of armor for deco, implying that you can enchant, right? The enchanted books are beyond the shelf, because that would be the quote-unquote restricted section. So it's just literally beyond the shelves, blah, blah. Turn the page, which opens this door. So yeah, that's the big difference. And really, I think that the new door style they talked about on Minecraft Live and stuff would be pretty much just exactly what we've got here, but that we would be using a chiseled bookshelf probably at the bottom, right there, and that's it. That's really the only difference, which is interesting because this is the first time I'd ever done redstone hidden doors, and took a little bit of fiddling to get them right, but got it eventually. And then literally it's just a room full of boxes of barrels, right? So we can kind of collect the spoils from time to time. It's funny though, I did a VOD, and most of the time I expect people on YouTube never watch the VODs. I mean, it's more of an archive system, and you're welcome to watch it that way if that works better for you. But in any case, someone had come through and, oops, and I just collected up the diamonds, not a big deal. So I was looking at my valuables box, which I didn't even bring, but my valuables box in my ender chest, and I was putting stuff away or something, and they wrote a comment on my YouTube VOD that said, "Wow, this is survival? How did you get 6 blocks of diamonds?" And so yeah, I explained what had happened, you know, around the bookshop, etc. And that was, you know, all well and good, end of story there, mostly. But it was just kind of funny because I was just thinking to myself, isn't that how most SMPs work? But I guess not. But then I actually started doing a loose math in my head, and I was thinking, well, then again, you know, the number of emeralds I spent, fine, there we go, just because I can. Actually getting all those books because I didn't do, and that's, like, the weird patterns are in there. Some of the spread out is simply, what happened here? Must have been a creeper. Just looks weird. Yeah, something really went screwball and blew out all the stairs. Okay, well, whatever. But anyways, with the bookshop, I didn't really want to fathom just how many emeralds I'd actually traded for and spent and whatever to do that. The other thing was some of the diamonds some of the emeralds and books were extra because I didn't early on have the top level trader for all those books. Some of them I still don't. I mean, if it was 2 books to get there, then it wasn't a big deal for me. Like, that's fine. But there were some where it was far more levels. So I had a level 2 and I was trying to get up to a level 5. And oh my word, I did that I actually did do that for an entire shulker full of the... Oh, whoops, missed one of the best spots that was not my build. I did that for an entire shulker full of Bane of Arthropods. Like, of all the books to waste your time on, but I knew somebody might, at some point in the future, maybe want one. So I did do that. And yeah, those things, A, aren't cheap, and B, it's just, they're stupid. Okay, this place is one of my favorites. Alright, so we've got the aquarium going up top with all the awesome fish. Fishy, fishy. But what I really came down here for was just, I mean, I love the aquarium, don't get me wrong. I came down for the mailboxes. And then you get to see this place from underneath. Which is one thing to see it... Oh. Where is... Oh well. That's okay. Need to check. So Creef and Iron Man Hockey need to check their mail. As does... Max, you need to check your mail, man. But, let's see, what do we have? Can I just go... Oh, I'm not trying to freeze my game. But I guess I might have. I made the mistake just now of pressing the magic key, and there we go. Yeah, it totally... So this is with shaders on. I just love hanging out here with shaders on. Nope. So, yeah. That's beautiful. And if you ever get the time, if you're on the as we call it, the coffee server, and you get the time to run the roller coaster, totally worth it. I've been through the roller coaster on stream a few times, so I'm not going to do it today. I've been dead on the roller coaster a few times, so I'm not going to do that today. Oops, and I went out the wrong stairs. That's okay. We have 2 sets of stairs out of here, and I always seem to get myself taking the wrong ones. Come on. Fly, please. Thank you. That's a really big Zipdos. I just gotta know what it says down here. Ow? Doesn't say ow. What's this say? The Great Leader Zipdos. Oh, okay, so he's the mayor now, is he? Oops, and I'm gonna fly around one more spot. And this would be the amphitheater. So if we ever catch the Dynamites broadcasting from the coffee server, which they have on occasion, then this is the theater that they can actually do their little song and dance thing, and well, not dance, but song at the end. So yeah, I think that was built by the Zerks, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. One of the things I find interesting is the sections that people have selected for shopping district this year are they have so much potential. The only thing I don't like about it is just the snow, and that's just because I'm really bad at recognizing snowier snow. I'll admit, when I'm worried about snowier snow, I will actually go in with shaders, because the shader set I have does not yet have a texture for snowier snow. So that way I don't end up dead, because I've done that a couple of times, like falling through the snow and actually frozen. And get your head shot. So what do we got? More heads. Yeah, and Brian. the guy who set it up, of course. So a lot of this, I mean, you know, what you can understand, is all Brian, aka Stoner Miner. Very, very interesting. Including cute little... This is why they're mad at me. These are the guys. There, and I don't know why this helper in training has his head in a carpet, but that's okay. I'll figure that one out. Okay, let's... What is this? Portal above. Okay, great. So we're gonna head home. And hopefully, the Perfect Shot and anyone else got to see what they wanted to see. And it's funny, in spite of me not actually liking musical Hamilton, as sacrilege as that may be, Perfect Shot's name keeps reminding me of like one of the very famous songs / lines from the musical Hamilton. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't often get a whole lot of Enderman griefing, so yeah. The only other thing that I did not show, and it's not even really worth showing, is actually, I guess, two. So down here you can sort of see that's my raid farm. It used to be a Pillager Outpost, but yeah, that was one of the previous streams, and it does well enough, and it's fun and cathartic, but it doesn't actually, it's not high production. It just does what I need. This is now an empty abandoned village because I destroyed it with a raid that Zerk had to come and rescue me from, like Zed said, Zerk. And the only other piece is this one over here. That diamond shape is just a very generic flushing mob farm that gets me anything and everything. So one of the things I am looking forward to, there's not a whole lot that actually turns my crank, so to speak, for the 120. It wasn't that they didn't have good stuff, it's just it's not stuff I see a use for myself. But one of the things I do look forward to in 120 is the additional burnability for, what do you call it? For the bamboo products. So we can actually get... Oh, what a waste. You know, did I just... Give me a second here. I think I actually put everything in. Yep. Okay. That was not what I intended to do. Pull that out. I don't need that anymore anyway. I put this in one layer too deep. Oh well. I actually wanted to put it on this side one layer in so that I could put the quartz on the other side. Well, let's go swap materials. Where am I here? This one? There we go. Take that out for now. And yeah, I got smooth. Okay, we're good. Meow. Go cat, meow. So in any case, where am I here? Oh yeah. So that just reminds me of Hamilton. I don't know, I just wasn't a huge fan of Hamilton. But on the weekend, as I mentioned earlier, some of the crew are going to be having a stream weekend for the Dadcraft Patreon servers. There are some of the more popular names are missing, but that's just because, you know, everybody has their own thing to do, and some of them had conflicts and so on. So not everybody could make it. There are a few that actually stream for more than one SMP. So they're, and a lot, just about every, shouldn't say just about every, but a lot of the SMPs that some of these crew are involved in will have their own stream weekend. So when you start looking at 2 stream weekends, plus trying to have real life, plus, you know, it gets a little hairy scary. But I don't normally stream on weekends. That's an unusual thing for me. That's why I was able to make it work. But part of the reason I don't usually stream on weekends is because it's usually scouting events. Like, for example, this Saturday I've got a local bottle drive we're working on, and the week after that is camp for my son's scout troop, as I'm a leader. And then, of course, the weekend after that, what's that? Past Halloween, because that'll be on the Monday. Then after that, oh yeah, I'm off on a dance weekend. I do clogging and or Appalachian Mountain something or other, if you want to get too fussy about it. Canadians don't usually call it that, though. But that's what I'm doing the weekend after that, and so then you're into like Armistice Day or Remembrance Day, which is my birthday. That's not why I don't stream that weekend. I actually have yet another scout camp for both kids that weekend. Stinks because I wanted to be with my troop that weekend, but whatever. So yeah, it gets a little hairy, scary, and sometimes I just don't have the opportunity to get everything in, to make everything fit. Alright, now I can get through this door, take it out, put it on the correct side, and that actually went a little faster than the first round did. But we've also got, we're one of those families that has our kids in soccer as well. For those of you that prefer the term football, then really soccer is actually association football, and that's the way it goes. That's where the term soccer came from, it was association rules football back in the day. Anyway, where that part of the story actually becomes relevant is that for the indoor season, our kids have their first meet and greet this weekend on the Saturday, and then their first actual games the following weekend. So how we fit those in usually seems to be that we've had kids in soccer since, I don't know, time immemorial for them. And so now it's just a matter of getting them there. Whoops. Yeah, okay, and one more row. This one, that one. Oops, nope, those are the ones I was supposed to keep. Silly me. Let's see. So I wanted 1, 2, 3. Can't even seem to think today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what do we pull out? So we've got that going on this weekend, and it's just a little crazy. It can be a little hairy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I just take out one more. And that should be roughly equal? Yeah. I don't know. This doesn't feel right. Let's see what we've got. So 2, 2, 2, 3, and then all the way down. So on this side, 2, 2, 3. Oh, whoops, and all the way down. Okay. I just took out a whole bunch, didn't need to. Oh, I see what I've done here. Okay. Well, we're gonna have a weird little scene going on, but that's okay. Can I take out this block? Can I? All the way up. Or is it going to end up with holes in the building? Yep. That might not be too bad, though. I'm going to have to run outside and see what that looks like. Okay, what happens after the spot where I started seeing light? That was here. If I keep going all the way up, I'm going to have an issue there. There. Not too bad, actually. I can probably get away with peeling that layer off. Okay. A couple little weird spots here and there, but that's okay. Minecraft being square and all that. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's finish cutting this out. I also won't be going all the way up. Oh, I will, actually, all the way up in green. Yeah. So I can take that out as well. But yeah, so this weekend, the build will just be the bust. Oh, that's not good. What's this? There's more holes, okay. So... yeah, a couple little holes like that in behind the stairs won't matter. I'm okay with that. Oops. Let's see, can I do this without making a huge mess? Yeah, I think that's it. We should be fine. Yep, so we got the kids busy, and that's why I don't usually do a lot of weekend streaming. It's always during the week. Also, the other side of it is that I'm still learning the ropes and learning the process, which means that, for me, it makes it a lot easier to not have as much competition. Weekend slots are really popular for people. So, like popular for people streaming, just because that's when a lot of people have time to do their streaming. It's also when a lot of people have time to put things on in the background to be watching. Yeah. And, yeah, but that's okay. Let's see. Did I come back? Oh, I didn't end up coming back with a new... let's try this one. That one, okay. So, we have the last few minutes here. We have a lot in the last half hour, I guess. But the new question of the day, just floating around, is what is a fashion trend you're really glad that went away? And you kind of wish would never come back? I was going to say very large hair from the 80s, although that in itself is a return from portions of the 50s and 60s. Fantastic Sherlock Fox and I have had this conversation many times about what's the word? About fashion and hairstyles seem to come back approximately every 30 years. And so what seems to be fashionable now may actually be 30 years old for an idea. Approximately 30 years old, 20 to 30. But we're seeing more blends these days than we did in past years. So, for example, we had skater pants, super large ones. I'm not sure what those would have been. I mean, they're parachute pants, really. But in with that, oh, come on. In with that, we also had the pants down around your behind end. And that has come back. But when it came back the second time, it seems to have been more the lower crotch section and lower waistline in tandem with the more of these tighter pants, chicken leg style, as I would like to call it, from the 1970s. And that's even still me being fashion-wise out of date, because I know that there's far more modern styles than that. In the 90s, there was a sort of a return of the, for lack of a better term, the lumberjack style. What did I want? 2 there? Okay. 1, 2. And that's not necessarily a return of something else, but in tandem with that, we saw some portions of the population return to sort of a faux hippie look in their clothing choices, which is very much a harkening back to the 60s. And while there's nothing wrong with that fashion style, I don't have a personal beef against it or anything like that. It's just interesting to see that it's gone. And I'll be honest, I never have been a fan of paisley. If Paisley died a horrible death and never came back, I would not cry any elephant tears at all. Oops. Up this way. But, I mean, some people and some groups really like Paisley. You know? That's their thing. And it's also interesting to note that I need to be a little more specific because that's just North American styles. Like, if you take a look at, say, for example, well, okay, I'll say mid-European or even Scandinavian fashions. A good example being that some of the fashions from and music and so on from earlier periods didn't make it to, say, Sweden anywhere near as fast as it did over here. So in the mid-90s, I was on a student exchange, and they were still looking at 80s fashions leather jackets with the uber big hair, and for some reason there was a thing about wearing like tutus or crinolines on the outside with your leather jacket. Fishnet shirts, yes. I don't have a problem with fishnet shirts in a specific circumstance. And that specific circumstance is that if you're wearing it as an over outfit to go, say, with a women's, full swimsuit, just being clear on that one. But if you're having it go with a women's full swimsuit, then... Oh. But it's gonna... Oh, okay. Fine. Didn't think it was gonna work. If you had it going with a women's full swimsuit, then cool. I can get on board with that one. However, fishnet shirts over, like, underwear or the nothing doesn't make any sense. But anyways, if you had those things together, no go. Not my world. I feel old when I say that, but some styles can die. I like, but then again, okay, let me add one other piece though that complicates that whole thing. Fantastic Shark Fox and I will never be on the same page over this one, but I'm one of those gals who would like to not see shirtlessness. I think part of it is just, some say I'm a prude, but I think part of it is also that either make it legal everywhere on the planet or make it illegal everywhere on the planet. For both, whatever. So say genders, but that's not the word. Sexes, maybe? If you're talking in physical shape? I don't know. But I'd like to see everybody or nobody. And I would be perfectly happy if it's everybody. But because in Canada, in a lot of the provinces, chicks aren't allowed to, then my preference would be nobody. But that's a whole different discussion for another day, because, yeah. That's as far as I'm going to get on political. But fashion's going away. I will say also because, let me put it this way, also because some people who wore the fishnet shirt fashion were in their extreme older age. And I don't know about you, but like, I don't want to see Jack Nicholson's moobs in a fishnet shirt. You know? Very nice actor. Does not look good shirtless. Otterbox got you again. Oh. Did Otterbox get mad at you for using an ellipsis with no space? Oh, phooey. Yes, okay. Okay, I follow. If I'm a prude, Otterbox is worse. And Butter Osmond is far worse. Although, given the character he's named after, he should be a prude. So, that one, reference-wise, is that Butter Osmond, it's actually a bad pun, or attempting to be a bad pun, on the idea of a monk brother Oswin. And there's a character Brother Oswin in multiple of the Brother Cadfael novels, because Brother Cadfael is a Benedictine monk, and he had a novice named Oswin assigned to him, who of course becomes Brother Oswin. So I thought Water Oswin fit the theme quite nicely, and Oswin's kind of a silly, fun name, so that's what I went with. I'm not too surprised that Oswin's a prude. I mean, what else would you be if you have no experience of real life and the interest therein? Lipsies, though, he needs his head examined, or his code examined, I suppose. So I'll give him a bye on being a bit of a prude, but thank you very much for scolding him. Oh, fantastic Sherlock Fox, you're really on for the puns today. And the silly jokes, I love it. But I mean, really, what do I expect as a moderator if I'm going to make my bot be named after a monk? I mean, I'm not saying that they know nothing, but they don't know a whole lot about reality. Ow. All right. Let's do that. There we go. That was kind of silly, wasn't it? Kind of silly. There and there. There. That's better. Alright, let's jump. Excellent. Yep, that matches that, and then I can just fill it in. Perfect. I like. It has the look I need. And it doesn't have to be fancy like the other end, because we're not actually using it as an arch. It's meant to be the scar of a former arch. Oh, whoops. Haha. I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but my stomach is deciding to tell me that I was a fool to have skipped breakfast. But then again, when I stream, I usually do, so I don't know why it cares today. This is the kind of stuff that can make me a little dizzy. This is because if that's how I'm going to build it, then my up and down sensitivities will get triggered. Let's see. How much of this can I reach? Oops, that was dumb. There we go. And then jump down here. Reach that hole if I jump? Possibly. Nope, not quite. Come on, up a little higher. Oh, not quite. There we go. There we go. And I should need to cut this one off. Alright. So I'm just about ready to tear down the beacon in the middle. And then, and finish up the flooring, the basic stone level. Then I can start making a gazillion chests and moving in, which is quite nice. Now, I was thinking I should probably put the ceiling lighting on, but at the moment, I'm doing okay. There's really not much to it, so I may leave that till later. And all it's really going to be is just a bunch of chains with lanterns hanging down. And the usual type. I'm not even going to worry about soul lanterns. There we go. Because, I mean, churches had a lot of candlelight based on fire, so therefore It works just fine. Door. Are you in? Oh, nope, wrong side. I don't really care how the door opens, other than at this point, I want it to open in the center, kind of. There we go. So that it's recessed on both sides. I'm okay with that. There we go. I like. Alright. So basically, it's just about tear up and move in time. Let me just see if... I was thinking I should probably line the two entranceways, but making them double thick would just look really weird. This one might handle it. I don't know. I kind of like the accent of having the different colors, so I think I'm just going to leave it like that. It's a bit more unfinished, but it works. Yay! Alright. So, hey cat. Do I have any stone with me? Just a bit. That'll be a good place to start on the weekend. I can tear out these. Where do I put the shears? I have shears. No, it's in the toolbox, right? Better be. Shears, okay, good. The shears survived! Yay! That actually sounds weird, but it's not. After last week's mistake, the fact that something did not get destroyed is kinda nice. Alright, so I'm just gonna take out now this line and the other similar wool pieces were actually inset just so I could actually do the layout of the walls. So I really don't know now how much of the wall actually still has underpinnings of wool. Like there's a piece. And it really doesn't have to be removed. It's not like anybody's going to dig the place up. I still can't stop snickering or a little bit or rolling my eyes when I see Fantastic Trout Fox's comments sitting in my chat. But yeah, so we're just about done this one. And then actually, do I have... Maybe in about 5 minutes, I think I will, spoiler alert, the, spoiler, the, Light Matica for the weekend, I think. Kind of like, you know, cliffhanger. If you want to see, actually be here when you see this thing built, build it into your time schedule. If not, it'll be available on VOD, because not everybody's always available. That gives you an idea of just how big that puppy is. One of the other things I find about survival is that I'm not very good at building farms yet, as the fish farm was an example of. Which means that, okay, this all looks done-ish. Let's take out those. I'm not very good at building fish farms, or fish farms, any farms, so which means that in survival my palette choices usually end up being pretty bland. I did not forget this one, by the way. That has to stay there because it's a big marker for where I went underground to light up tunnels underneath. But, so the resulting, yeah, as I said, is my palette choices end up being pretty bland. And that's a shame, but it is what it is, sort of thing. Yeah, and then, so it means that this year's goal really was to have a base theme, like a somewhat coherent base theme, and that's a first for me. And then after that was just to be able to learn to be more comfortable with building, which is part of why I was using photos. I'm not fully creative to be able to build something from scratch, but being able to convert from photos to something like this is actually pretty handy of a skill, because then it helps with the inspiration portion. The build on the weekend, though, I used a different cheaty trick. Using a website that basically, it does what's called voxelizing, And so what this website can do, or there's apps for it as well, is you can take the files that people like Dadcraft and others use for 3D printing, and you can voxelize them and turn them into schematics to be built in Minecraft. And then, of course, once I get in, I load in the schematic and convert it to a Lightmatic, just so that Lightmatic doesn't go haywire. It doesn't like schematics all that well. But yeah, so that we can build in designs like that. So this weekend's build, I will admit, I found one I liked. I was actually originally going to use a photo based off of a black and white picture, but then making it 3D myself was a little more than my creative skills were proving to be. I actually did try that in creative, and it was not going well. So when I found this trick, it opens up the world a lot more, because then I don't have to always be looking for tutorials on architectural builds. If I can find models in like Papercraft or 3D printing or whatever and convert them, and that makes things a little bit easier. Yellow, you and I are in the same Dadcraft Discord because this is his server, so I will definitely pop in into his server and put a link there for anybody who is interested in that one. And really what you do is you can use the .stl files or the .obj files, and then just open it in this program. It starts measuring in a unit called voxels, which I don't really understand, but I started to figure out which dimensions become X, Y, and Z in Minecraft, and then just save it in a Minecraft file, like a, not Minecraft file, sorry, a, what do you call it, a schematic file. There's tons of file formats on this particular website, so I'll post that link for you, and we can always DM about it if you need to. And there's times it has occurred to me just for fun that when Dadcraft prints something like a frog or whatever, to go hunting for a free frog file for 3D printing, and then build it in the world, just sort of like have a base theme one year of like Dadcraft's builds, or not Dadcraft's 3D prints. But I realized that, you know, I don't know, I just didn't think it was unique enough to really be respectful. The idea was there, but the practicality of it is not necessarily something that could be seen as nice. I mean, he's, you know, he does great things for us and picks some really interesting pieces, and just to cop out by copying some of them would just be not necessary, I guess. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't appreciate it if I'd gone to work to find files that I thought that I got a kick out of, and I thought other people would get a kick out of, and then somebody just takes that and runs with it. I mean, the reverse has been true for other people as well, though, is that I think you can go the opposite direction on this one. So if you can get your file turned into a schematic, I think you can go back the other direction. I haven't actually tried it yet. There's a build I might want to try that with. I have to figure out how to pull out some of the previous builds I've done in Bedrock worlds and figure out if I can actually get them built in my creative Java world via using this sort of schematic cut and paste concept. I mean, you can always do it with world edit and so on. So, you know, I may actually have to cave and teach myself that file. Tis. LOL, bark at that work, Otterman. Oh boy. So in my setup, when I stream, I don't actually watch the auto mod section. So I do apologize for that. When Fantastic Shock Fox is not available, every once in a while something will get caught, and then I have to go digging to figure out what it was and why it was and whatever. But there's, I think maybe I need to keep a little bit of a closer eye on Bot or Oswin. I see what the mods have done after the fact, but I don't see what the auto mod has grabbed along the way. So yeah, I need to work on that one. And the last thing you need to do is have the monkey go ape on you. Maybe he needs to be signed a little bit of good digging. See if that'll clear him up. Maybe some carpet laying. I tried laying carpet for the Cadfile thing on stream. Done that a few times. Problem is, while some people can do it, I can't, and I get stuck in the world of counting 3 here, 4 there, and that did not cause my largest error in the art, but it probably would have made it a lot worse. Okay, so this one's done. Basically, I can move in, and then the last element after that would be, of course, pardon me, adding the lighting. Well, fixing the whole roof, but adding the lighting and putting carpeting in the aisles. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this part for. Technically, if I was doing the church's interior from the photos, it's not quite finished, but I think that's all I'm going to do because it really just has a series of little alcoves and stuff. In a Catholic or Anglican church, I think up in this zone is where you come up and you sort of kneel to do your prayers and stuff. And not my thing. So I don't think I need that in here. But yeah, I think rows and rows of well, maybe not quite such wonky backs, but rows and rows of pews that are probably double, at least 2, possibly 3 chests wide might look pretty cool. Duels to the ban. Cute. Yeah. There's another new name for ITT Tom if he hasn't got enough already. Is Lord Tomazon. What? Let's see, we're at noon and I said I would give the spoiler for the weekend. Okay, let me just get these 2 down. I'll head outside. Do I even have a stick? I'm gonna need a stick. Did I pick up 4? Okay, perfect. Do I have a stick? No. Did I put a magic stick in there? No. Okay, fine, we'll make a stick. What do I want to use for a stick? Don't know what I want to use for a stick. Sure. Whatever. I have enough of those. I did not actually chop down all those trees. That was some of the proceeds of a mansion run. Alright, let's see, up here maybe? There's the train. So I'm definitely going to have to probably flatten some stuff out, or maybe just find a flatter portion. Let's just see what we've got. Yeah, it's not bad, actually, so maybe I'll just go with it on the weekend. Might need some prep tomorrow, I think. But, to figure out where I want to put this thing. Pretty big. Okay, well. Let's go with M. Load schematics. Did I find this one? Passenger coach. No. No schematic file selected. Okay. Do I not have this one in here? 1 split second? I just wanted to show this item, but if I can't, I can't. MC5. Where is test world? Instance folder. Minecraft folder. Okay, there we go. Not the smaller one. This one. Alright, and I just need to grab the correct folder for this one. Minecraft folder. Perfect. Schematics. Copy there. Let's try this again. M. Load schematics. This guy. Let's create a placement with it as well. That's fine. Alright. So we don't see it at the moment. Oops. No. Control. Move it. Okay, there we go. So this thing is pretty... There it comes. Is that the backside? Okay. Regions modified. Let's go up this way. Yeah, that's gonna be a big job. And down we go. Okay, can we, let's see, schematic placements, configure, rotation, there we go. So he's a little bigger than, yeah, that's gonna be a big sucker. But, can I fly with this thing on? Yeah, he's pretty big, but that's the plan for Saturday. Oops. Let me get back on. Oh, ow. That's where I want to be, but... Ow. Okay, guess not. I cannot land on things. Let's try it this way. Spin. And miss. Whatever. Forget it.
Wow.
But yeah, that's gonna be big. So I have to find a spot for it where it's not entirely in the way. So you can see that I have a few places to choose from, but it might need a little bit of work just to flatten them off so I can actually build something that big. But that's Saturday's plan. So this is what we worked on today, and that's probably where we're going to end. Oop, let's turn me around. There we go. All right, so let's head off to the end screen. We will figure out actually who's live right now. I think I've had a pretty chill stream, so we're going to continue the chill vibe, and we're going to head off to Gruva. So I'm going to start that.
Mischief managed.
And send us over to the end screen to say our thank you very muches and all that. So thank you very much for the new follow, Perfect Shot. Thank you as well to Fantastic Sherlock Fox for covering off the oopsies, Max for dropping by, and Lord Snow for bringing your people. I really appreciate it when you guys are able to do that. Thanks to Yellow and Zip and Spring Purse and Owl Poppins. Interesting. And of course, Lord Snarl dropped in just a brief moment where he had to go. But yeah, so that's what we were up to this weekend. You can see the raid messages on the screen there. The top one has my 2 sub emotes stuck in there. But if that doesn't work for you, then you can use the bottom one, which has all global emotes. So we'll head off to Gruva, give him our best, and I will see you on the weekend. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.